Hi everybody and welcome along to this Yoga Orkney online session. So it's suitable for all levels, beginners to people who've been practicing for some time. And really I try to incorporate as many options as I can in classes so that we all feel that we can get something out of it. If you have any concerns, please do ask or ask your healthcare provider, specifically if you're managing a condition that's unique to you. You know best, but please feel free to get in touch. Please make sure that the place that you're exercising in is suitable, that you have had a look for any hazards, you have a nice clean area to work with, and yeah, just work at your own pace, at your own level, and I hope you enjoy. And we're going to start off by standing. Now if you're joining and you're pregnant or you're expecting, don't lie on your front. You can do everything we do on our front, kneeling, absolutely fine. If you know you have a little bit of arthritis, or well, any type of arthritis or osteoarthritis in your spine, just take the rolling movements carefully. You can always keep more upright feeling in your back. So it's not straight, but it's just easier for me to say that it's straight. So just know that you can absolutely modify the moves to suit yourself. When you're balancing, feel free to hold on. I've got a handy wall here. Or even just feel free to kind of shift the weight a little from side to side. What we're looking for in Pilates is to develop a little bit of awareness in our core. That just means that we're able to think about it and get it to react the way that we would like it to. It can take a little bit of time, so don't get frustrated, just do what comes naturally to you. We want to find a nice relationship between the hips and the spine. So often these can be a little off kilter, especially when you kind of move your routine from one thing to another thing. So the body adapts pretty quickly. And I know that the first 2 weeks for me of working at my kitchen table, my back was just in a little bit of a huff with me. So just be aware of how you're feeling, any niggles, any modifications that you might need to make for yourself. And just start off by shaking the legs out, nice and easy. So you want to have your feet just nice and sturdy here. So we don't want them stuck totally together. We don't want them really wide apart, but it's going to be kind of unique to you as to where those feet need to be placed. And then you're just going to pull in with these abdominal muscles. And I want you to eventually be able to feel the back around the waist, a little lift as well. Take a breath in and let it relax, and then breathe out. Just everything squeezing back to the middle. Inhaling again, so you want to be feeling out into these ribs, out into the front, pressing into the back, and then breathing out, just everything squeezing back in. And that's kind of what we think of when we think about centering into Pilates, everything squeezed into this little space. And that allows you to move, but keep the core engaged. And again, you don't want to be too stiff, we still need to be able to move a little as we hold on here. Release those muscles. Give a little shake again. And now you're just going to bend the knees a little bit here, little bend. Nice and upright feeling in the body, easy with the shoulders. As soon as I mention it, you kind of go, well, what am I supposed to be doing with them? Just give them a little shake. You want to stand nice and upright, engage the middle of your body again. And shut your eyes. And see how wobbly you feel tonight. So this is kind of building proprioception or your map that your brain has of your body. And it can go a little skewed. And Pilates is a really great exercise for helping you build a bit of control. Anybody wobbling? Crazy yet? And you're just going to lift your arms up. So you're going to have to listen because your eyes are closed so you can peek. Arms lift forwards here. Just kind of in line with the fronts of your shoulders. And see how steady you feel on your feet. Are you swaying a little bit? Do your heels feel lighter than your toes? Do you feel one leg more than the other? Are we still holding on to those core muscles? Well done, eyes can open, release those arms. I know that seems a little bit crazy, but it's a really helpful exercise. So from here, what we're going to do is try raising up onto the toes. I'm just going to keep my knees bent tonight. Little raise of the heels and then back down. Little raise of the heels and then back down. My ankles are not as strong as they maybe should be, So you want to try and avoid the ankles moving out or in. 2 more times, up, push the feet down, good. And if you want to do this last one with straight legs, like an elevate, then you can. Core, 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 back down again, shake out those legs. Arms are going to reach up and over your head. So like I said, I don't have the room to stretch all the way out. There's quite a variable range of mobility in shoulders, so don't feel that you have to pull them all the way back, just upright. And then circle those arms down, lift the right leg, good, hips nice and stable, foot comes down nice and controlled, arms lift, find those abdominals. So you want to be feeling a stretch in your abs when you lift your arms up, and then as the arms come down, lift that left leg. Nice and steady. Again, arms up, feet down, abs, back, hips, right leg. And then down, arms up, and then left leg. And then we're going to add on another exercise here. Foot down. I'm just going to turn so you can see. Arms circle up and onto the back of the head. Rest the head all the way into the hands here, so that you can kind of feel the muscles in the back of the head and neck relax. If you hate this feeling in your shoulders, elbows can come forward, that's totally fine. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, you're just going to bend your knees and roll the head forwards, still keeping that contact, head and hands. And you want to kind of roll down so you can start to feel midway into the back. Now remember, if you feel that this doesn't suit your spine, upright here, if you have a little look now, see how that's different from this kind of forward curl. And then to undo that posture, straighten it out, so you kind of push the chest slowly forward, hold on to the abs, press through your feet, and then return up to standing. So you start to kick in these stabilising muscles in the back as well. Breathe in, breathe out, rolling again. Pull the belly in, push the feet down, halfway down the back. So we're not all the way rolling here, just the starting of this kind of flexion in the back. Chest forward, elbows press to each elbow, lift the head and then up. And we'll come back to this when we come onto the mat. One more time like that. Breathe out, abs in, arching forwards. Anybody feeling their shoulders yet? Straighten out the back, it's quite a subtle movement. I find it works these back muscles pretty well. And then up, good. Now this time, you're going to lift that right leg up and see if you can bring your left arm to touch. How wobbly do you feel now? More or less than when you had your eyes closed. Good, foot comes down, arm comes up. Breathe in, breathe out, right arm, left leg. So abs, abs, abs. Back down. Little bit of coordination. I find it a balance. One more time, right leg, left arm. Quite challenging, just from not doing my usual routine. And then down, and again, left leg, right arm. Your option is simply just to lift the heel and cross the arm a little over. That's totally fine. Back down, arm lifts. Good. Now this time you're going to roll further down. So breathe in. Listen out for your options. You can stick with this one if that felt good. You might want to come a little further down. So head roughly in line with hips or thighs. And if the rounded spine here doesn't suit you, if you feel it in your back or you're not sure, here, hands on thighs. You just get that instant release from the back muscles. So options, you can be rolling down here. And if you're expecting, then you're going to have your feet a little bit wider and keep the back here a little bit longer, so you're not forcing a big arch in the spine. And then you're going to come up in the same way, kind of scoop head and chest forward, push down with the feet, lengthen through the back, and then lift up. It's slow, but it's effective. Inhale, exhale, bend those knees, rolling down, lift the abdominals up, head stays into the hands, scooping forward, push down through those feet, reach to the crown of the head, find those back muscles. Only one more time, hopefully we're doing okay. Inhale, exhale, down, abs in. Reach reach forward through the head, push down through the feet, stretch to the back so you can feel the muscles all the way through the spine. And then finally at the top, release those shoulders. Have a little circle here. Whew, need to work on my back muscles. Me too. So I'm just going to stay sideways so you can see. Hands now come onto the knees, and you're kind of like squatting hips down a little and extending through the back. Lift the chest a little. See this kind of scoop a little in the back, and then you just reverse it. Abs, abs, abs in. And then scoop forward. Exhale back. So it's kind of like the cat cow that we do. And we're going to come and do this on the mat in a moment. Forward. And then back. Abs in. And then you're going to come back to the middle, and you're going to take your right hand here, and you're going to cross it over to the left hand side. So it might be underneath here as you twist, or just in front. And what you want to kind of avoid is a big sway of the hips to the side. So just reach across, push to the left arm, draw back into those abs and stretch through the arm. So it's kind of like thread the needle, which we'll do as well on the floor. We're going to explore these moves, hand back onto the thigh, left arm this time crosses. So you see there's this rotation, abs in, reach the arm, stretching the back as a kind of antidote to the last move that we did. Hands back onto the thighs, onto the knees, and then you're just going to climb down towards the floor. One arm, two arms, knees come down. I'm just going to switch around because I don't like facing that way first. I don't know why that is. Has anybody found that their little rituals have got a little bit weird? If you know. You're going to be here on your hands and arms. Now your arms can be pretty wide, same thing as the legs. You want to feel a nice support structure. They don't have to be really narrow here underneath. You can move these hands around. Fists, forearms. You can be resting on a chair or your sofa if that's what suits you. Absolutely fine. Arch the back up, so it's that cat cow again. I like to lever here by pushing into the hands, and it feels a little different from when you were standing. And then forwards, chest lifts, hips back, feel a little stretch in the middle of the body, and then back to neutral. Take your right arm, slide it underneath, and have a little rotation here. So you can have your elbow down and just make it a little bit of a twist here. You can go a little bit further into the stretch. Don't think that the deepest stretch though is the place where you need to be aiming for. You just want a nice broad sensation across the back of the body, and this is exactly the same, well, not exactly, almost the same as what you just did standing, crossing the arm over the body, but gravity's acting slightly differently and the muscles are acting slightly differently. Up we come, switch arms, slide it underneath, so you're kind of moving it across your body and lowering down. Good. Back onto hands and knees. Slide this right leg behind you, onto the toes, nice and firm through the middle of the body. Lift the heel here. You're just going to lift that heel up 6 to 10 times. So it's up, up, hips are nice and steady. You keep going. I'm just going to show you. It's pretty similar to the standing balance that we did earlier on, but we're just in a different plane. Up, up, foot comes down, and then the knee comes in, left leg comes back. Push to that heel. You want to get really steady hips here. We don't want to be rocking them too much side to side. Lift, up, 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 up. Good. 2, 1, down. One more time. Cat stretch here. And then the opposite movement. Now you can stop here in neutral if that suits you better, or the chest comes forward and the hips come back, and we invite a little stretch into the abdominals. This is safe for everybody as long as it feels good. Good. And then a little circle all the way around. It's quite hard to do that one. One way and then the other. So you really want to feel that arch in the back. Good. back to neutral. You're going to sit back. Neutral just means halfway between this arch and this arch. So we come back to that neutral spine where the abs have got to hold on a little. We're sitting back and we're firing the feet forwards. Now if you're joining us and you're expecting, don't lie all the way down on your back. You never want to do full out crunches if you are expecting. The same thing goes if you're experiencing a lot of low back pain. Pretty similar modifications I would normally give for pregnancy and back pain. It's the same issue really that we're trying to avoid in the lower back. So if you're expecting or your back hurts, this is your position. Feet can come in, feet can slide out, and you're still working the abdominals. As long as you're reaching up through here, you're still working those spinal stabilizer muscles as well. If you can, or if you want to, you're going to roll down onto your back and lift the knees up. 1, 2, tabletop position. So somewhere where the knees are over the hips. And then we don't want the legs lifted too much. You need to kind of move around till you find that sweet spot where the back is working. If the back is arching too high up off the floor, you feel it's totally out of control, feet come down and then you just lift instead. Options for arms. I quite like this one. Hands on the mat, pulling. You can slide your hands under your hips. You might need to remember that for a later exercise. Or, to make it harder, arms come back over the head or clasp behind the head. That's fine. So you're just going to take the right leg, press it away, back in. Left leg, back in. So you see how this would work if you're leaning up onto your forearms. You just slide the heel across the floor, push, be precise here with that return of the leg, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. Now if they're not already, hands under the back of the head, you're going to lift the chest up, squeeze down through the abs, push, pull. So it's the precision element here, being really precise with the movements that make your abs work hard. So if you're thinking, I'm not really feeling much at all, slow it down, make sure the hips are really steady, make sure you're gripping through the middle of the body, and then you've got the option of where the feet are. Now if this feels easy, 2 legs, push and pull, precise here, push and pull, really similar to what you just did kneeling. Keep going, a couple more times. If you're here and you want another option, circle and down, slide, circle and down. So you want to keep the variety in. Push and pull, push and pull. Keep the knees where they are, over the hips. Reset here through the abdominals. Lift the head and chest again. You're going to bring left elbow to right knee. Now you can have this left leg on the floor, long or short, or you can lift it. So you twist, reset right to the middle. See how the head and chest are not coming back down. Twist. And I like to breathe out when the work gets quite hard. Now you keep going through these bicycle movements. Push and pull. Keep going, push and pull. Now if you're seated, your option, arm, 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 arm. How are we doing? These are like called the ab 5, by the way, these exercises. And I know you all love to work abdominal muscles. Couple more times. Good. And then your feet come up to the ceiling here. Hands can slide under the hips. This is where you probably want them, underneath the hips. Reset the abs. Now if you're working sitting, then you're going to do here and then really slowly switch. It's actually a really hard exercise, but we don't want to do both legs at one time if you're seated up. So from here, drop the right leg down. So as you drop this right leg down, you'll feel whether the back kind of wants to lift off the floor. Hold on with your abdominals, and then you kind of pull a little bit with this left leg. Knees can be bent, foot can be on the floor, that's fine. As long as you're holding on to those abs, good. So it's a little pulse, pulse with the left leg, and switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. And then switch. Now if this feels quite good, and you want to add, switch, a little layer of difficulty, switch, then you climb up here, and then you kind of switch, and switch. So we're shortening the abs by lifting head and chest, which is making them grip, and you're increasing the stretch. Switch, switch, good, switch, and switch. Abs in, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Head down, knees in. You can hold on here or behind the thighs. If you're seated, this is pretty much the same, leaning forwards from here. Now have a quick look if you're doing this seated. Your next move is lifting and then rolling halfway back. Lifting and rolling halfway back. If you're here, then we're going to roll up into that teaser position. So teaser, have a quick look before you decide. We're up here, oh, and then reaching the legs long from there before folding in and rolling back down. Now if your low back doesn't like the sound of that or doesn't like the feel of it, this is your option. We roll back. Rolling, it just doesn't happen. So it can really just depend what's been going on as to what the body kind of doesn't want to do. And this spinal stretch here is quite nice after that teaser exercise. Rolling like a ball, you keep your stretch, but you might have a look here. Can be quite nice if you don't like extending all the way up into that teaser exercise. A lot of it is just about timing that time to straighten out the legs rather than brute strength. Good. Up you come. You're going to lie onto your side and we're going to do a little side series, which believe it or not, we do lying on your side. So if your hip feels tender when you're lying on the floor, then take a cushion, blanket, pillow, roll your mat over a few times. You can just place it underneath the hip. We're going to be here. So I quite like to do these exercises holding on to my head here. If you're more comfortable lying all the way out, that's absolutely fine. Stack your hips one on top of the other, so one's not rolling back or rolling forward, and then you're going to adjust so that you feel that the abs have got something to do in this position. You're going to straighten out the top leg, abs. See if you can lengthen out the bottom leg and touch. Try not to roll up to your side. Now if you are pregnant or you're struggling to hold on to this one, just keep the lower leg down on the floor. You're going to bring the lower leg down, top leg down. Press, reach and lift, down. So it's much of a balance exercise. And this is the same. This is basically kneeling, or when you're standing on one leg, standing. Top leg, bottom leg, touch, back down, push, and then back in. So the top leg can tend to reach up a little bit here. You want to keep it nice and level. So top leg, hold, hip steady, bottom leg, lift. So you're working into these obliques. And inner thighs and outer thighs. Push, top leg, bottom leg, in. See how the foot changes a little as well. Couple more times, top leg, bottom leg, touch, back down. See how it gets a little easier as you go through the repetitions, and then the last couple get hard again. Top, reach. Now keep the top leg up. Point to the toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Now you can keep a bit of a bend in the knee if it suits your back or your knees a little better. Keep the point this time. Circles in one direction, small. 8, 7, hold on here. Keep going. 4, 3, 2. Kick through the heel, change direction. Back or forward. Oh, good. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Bring this foot onto the floor. Knee may look up, knee may look forward. Don't think too much about it. Send the lower leg long. Point, heel. Point, heel, point, heel. Keep the heel and lift the leg. Up, up. Now you can do this with a bent knee and just curl up if that suits you better. If you're expecting and you feel the ligaments here, this is a good one. Keep lifting, up. Good. One more, up. Now to come round to the other side, push the floor away, swing your feet around, I love doing that. You're just gonna take the time to pad out that bottom hip and take time to get comfortable, because we're here for a few moves and we're nearly done. Final stretch and then we're done. So bending those knees, just checking you can still hear me, and making sure the hips are stacked on top. Now I find it really difficult to feel what's going on in the body without touching or looking, so match up hips at the top. If they're hanging back, this is all stretching, the lower back muscles are working, and you're just going to get a little bit less out of the leg and out of the oblique in the way that we're after. So stacking them up. Good. Top leg. This is always fun to see what happens on this side. Bottom leg touch, down. I like to kick the toes up. Top leg down. Reach, out and left. A little bit easier on this side. Good. For me, hopefully you got the easy side second. Out and up. And that exercise is called the torpedo. And it's great for all the way around the hips, all the way around the thighs. Push, abs, squeeze up, and obliques in. Press, slide and lift. Couple more times. Remember, you can keep the knees bent, that's totally fine. Push, I just noticed my hips were rocking back there. So keep adjusting, keep finding that center. One more, push, slide and lift. Good, last time. Up, slide and lift. Now keep the bottom leg down, top leg lifted. Point through the toes, heel. Toes, heel, toes, heel. And we want to feel some stirring around the abs. Heel, toe, heel, a little bit around the hip, butt maybe. Toes, heel. Now keep the toes this time. 8 little circles, see how small they are? Nice control in the middle of the body, no flapping around with the upper body as you circle. Now push the heel other direction. Oh, round, round. I like to just give a little push down of the lower leg as well. Round, round. Last one, foot comes onto the floor. So I don't know if you can see, I'll bring it to the fore. You can keep the heel up, or if it comes down, you can put it down. Sliding through the lower leg. Remember, your option is this kind of clam shell up here with a bent leg. And it's not about failing or being weak if you're choosing an option. Everything's always an option. It's always optional. Your body needs different things from other people, and it needs different things at different times. Kick through the heels, left. I find this like so much easier on this side as well. And we're really working into this kind of pull here, the really lower down part of the waist, abdominals, inner thighs. Good. Up. 2 more. Oh, 1 more. Good. And then you're just going to press yourself up here. Ooh, to seated. Feet come a little wider here. You can keep a bent knee, that's absolutely fine. You're just going to take a little stretch forward. Be honest about where you first feel the sensation, not where you last feel it. And if I'm honest, that's like there. And you don't want to feel too much pulling on the knees here, or further up towards the hips either. Nice broad inner thighs, maybe back of the body. If your toes ever feel tingly, pull back from the stretch. And we're just going to take a nice easy saw. So you're going to bring those feet in a little narrower. You might want to kick through the heels. I'll just turn around in a minute. Arms out, left arm, breathe in and breathe out. You can reach for the outside of the foot. Back arm can be on the floor. Now if you're expecting or you want an option, upright, just a little bit of a twist. You might reach past the foot. This arm here, it's not like cranking back behind, it's just reaching forwards. And then you breathe in, up, then you take the right arm to the left leg, and the same thing. Take the time. So remember at the beginning we did this kind of arch, this kind of left. Everybody's circumstance is a little different. Good. Have a little shake out, and then I want you to come up to standing in the quickest way that you can. Good, and we like to finish the Pilates exercise. That takes time, by the way. I'll just give you a minute to get up as well. Sometimes that goes horribly wrong. Arms up. Exhale, just drape yourself down. Arms up. And then again, down, up. Roll the shoulders back, and then you're just going to take a little swing of the arms side to side. We usually finish Pilates up on our feet, so you're ready just to walk off and carry on into your evening. And that's you, well done. Hopefully that felt good this evening. So I have another class of Pilates on Thursday night through Zoom, and our first bar express class tomorrow morning at 8:30 if you're interested. I'm just going to come back round the other side of the camera to have a little look at your comments and stuff. Well done for giving that a whirl this evening, and as always happy to receive feedback and just chat with you throughout this lockdown time. Thank you all so much.